Hello viewers, I'm SB and welcome back to Endless Legend, where I think we are all by ourselves on a pretty large landmass, and so this may turn out to be a very economically focused game. This might be the game where we do our best to stretch our economy as much as we can, as quickly as we can. So before we do anything else here, before we have no other stuff to do on our turn here except for figure out what to build in Mapal. So I guess that's where we're going. We don't have to enter an empire plan. This is a bug that pops up if you save on the turn that you put in your empire plan. It asks you for a new one, and it'll complain if you don't set one, but your previous empire plan is already saved as long as you don't apply anything new here. So there are 3 anomalies over here, and I gave some thought to picking up the beetle and moving it. But the problem with that is that the 3 anomaly space over here has no industry. I think we're actually probably pretty good where we are. And I think, honestly, this is a game that's going to be all about economic growth. I think it's right to build more settlers. I know we're gonna strain our empire approval levels, and I don't want to start building a settler this turn because obviously I'd like to get that point of population up. I think we're going to start by building, to build a burrow out into the forest here, where there's all this extra food and industry. And then next turn, we'll probably start a burrow, or we'll probably start a settler up. But I want to expand out quickly. There's 2 reasons for that. Number 1, obviously, the longer a city's out, the better it has a chance to become. You get more growth time. And secondly, any coastal areas that we leave available are potentially going to get grabbed by other players. We know that green is very nearby. And I don't want to lose control of what looks to me to be a pretty advantageous position here. So yeah, it's going to complain like I didn't enter anything there, but then when we start up the next turn, we will have our empire plan of additional dust for people who are working dust, which will complete... Yep, okay, there we go. Which will complete this quest and give us pacification of that village. And man, it's pretty good to have 3 regions, and in each of them have 3 minor faction villages. And we're on our way to satisfying these guys, aren't we? We also need to hire an Ardent Mage's hero, which is a little awkward, but we're not too far off of doing that, actually. So we need to build a glass steel extractor in Sagor. We could give some dye to the Gorons, which we actually cannot do. We do not have any dye. We need to keep generating influence, so we just need to chill on the Sagor thing for 4 turns, and then it will flip on its own. We're not going to do this, so we'll have to pacify the boss in Avrama some other way. 10 titanium to this Eris village. Probably worth doing, actually. Melantar is a pretty good region, isn't it? It's an alright region, I guess. Pretty good is too strong. But it does have some, like, clustered anomalies we can make use of. And then, what else do we have? Sorry, it's been a weekend since I last played. Okay, that is just gonna happen. Alright. So what else do we need to do? I guess this guy could be headed over there to solve that problem. And we should probably wipe out these Delvers now while they're near the city. And get the garrison in here on them. The city, sadly, does not have a governor. Should it? All my heroes are... Okay, all my heroes are properly assigned. Okay. Alright, let's be a little bit careful. Our starting unit is pretty bad. And dredges are actually relatively good fighters. For a minor faction. Minor faction relative, pretty good fighters. We're just gonna stay back, let the militia engage here. No, they won't. They both want the dervish. They know what I know, which is that this dervish is a bad combat unit. Okay, we want to make sure the dervish moves as far as possible before attacking, though, because of the charge capacity. Also, we do have stun 1. There's a 10% chance of a stun. Let's hope we get lucky. Hey, we did. Oof. 61 damage from both of them, though. That sucks. You have 3 move. So, okay, if we have this guy move all the way around here... My plan here is to have the damaged units try to fight the guy who's stunned so that they stay alive. then we could have you attack that guy, because he can just swap over to that spot. Right? That should work. He has 1, 2, 3 movement. Yeah. Oh, we've almost got him. Oof. Alright, you finish him off. I guess you could do it from there. Alright, we're going to start losing militia here. Oh, that guy was unstunned. Right, it's not stunned for... I'm actually going to lose. Man, dervishes are bad units. we lost that battle. Oh, dervishes are hot garbage. Alright. It's not a big deal. It's definitely solvable. It's just unfortunate. So what are you doing? Well, I guess you now are on Pacify Melantor duty. I can't imagine what else I was doing with this guy. I guess there's still territory to reveal up here. And did we ever get a quest from this village? I don't think we did. Return to this village with 3 minor faction units. You know, it's not impossible. That absolutely could happen. Alright, so right now what we're doing is we're saving influence a little bit. And when Saigor flips, or when we get these guys pacified, we're going to assimilate them and get 15% extra dust. I think that's probably pretty clearly the right assimilate for us. Alright, now that we have all this extra population, how quickly can we put a settler out? 3 turns? Yeah, okay. Let's just keep growing, right? Our next empire plan might not be very good. And then we get to talk about this stuff. So obviously I would love to move our faction quest forward if we can. There is an Ardent Mage's Hero available at 341 dust. In fact, there's an Ardent Mage's Hero available down here too. Although this one is solely an army hero. What is my actual quest? Did my quest want me to equip them as an army commander? Yes. But I don't know if they're going to stay a commander. And I definitely think that, generally speaking, Science Boost 3 is better for us than Defense and Initiative boosts. Yeah, I'm gonna hire this hero, use them as a commander as long as I must for the quest, and then get them back down to governing as soon as we can after that. So, what we need now is that dust. Well, we could sell some stuff. We can't actually make use of these Titan Bones right now, and they do sell for 4 each. I don't know why I closed the market. I was already at... This is the screen I needed. Okay, you... We could equip Argbad on this unit, but she'll slow the army down. I'm going to have her become a separate army on Saigor, and I guess we didn't actually have to lose that dervish. I could have done this in a better order. Ah, well. Create army on this city. She will wipe out the Delver, and then we can send her over to this region to talk to them. A couple good sources of XP. We do not need to manual this. Very, very straightforward. And then, yeah. Well, apparently there are 2 tiles I haven't even explored in this region yet, which is weird. Okay, and these cities are all getting stuff done. This is... Oh, yes, that's right. The city is bad at doing stuff, because the population of this city must be focused on influence generation for a little while. Oh, hey, it's wintertime, and we're immediately at minus 21 dust. Well, the good news here is that we are pretty good at generating dust from our population. I'm going to go out of my way to grab this pearl. Let's have these guys continue scouting this out. That's an angry Silic army, so let's maybe not be right there. We picked up public library. We definitely need sewers now. And then maybe like cultivation right afterward. So that we can build cultivators shortly after the winter ends. I'm going to do this for right now, because we only need to be generating 3 influence in this city per turn. And then in Miranlar, after we finish building the Empire Mint, we maybe can focus people a little more on dust production, because we're really good at it here. Yeah, let's actually do this for this turn. We'll get the Empire Mint done, as much of the public library as we can, and then next turn we'll move everybody on Miranlar over to, in Miranlar rather, over to Dust. Get that settled. Yep, so I guess the turns are still coming pretty quickly here. How many pearls is that? Just 2? I hope this is a short winter. It won't break us if it's not, but it is inconvenient. Gold ran out, and unfortunately I did not remember to tell these guys to run. I clearly have very little respect for the lives of our dervishes. I do not think it is a good idea for us to actually search that ruin. Also, man, what a weird little area this is. You need to get out of that region before you get cornered by those Silics. Alright, so over here, unfortunately we didn't get that far into the library, so it won't complete next turn. We can do this over here. That means we can move this guy to industry and hopefully get that mill foundry done. Man, I cannot wait until this region pops over to fully controlled by us. I think we do want to finish the burrow. Probably, before we build the library. So we do need to equip this hero with the Roads of Dust. Unfortunately, I think it's a little too expensive to do that right now. Yeah, 55. Oh, hold on. Let's make sure these guys actually move. Remember, when we search this, it's going to spawn monsters, so probably not a good idea right now. Okay, you should pick up food from the river. Right, he's in the capital, right? Yeah, so extra food for the capital. I don't know what to do with that settler just yet. Actually, I do. I'm going to pop the settler out, and then we're going to hold on. Because otherwise, I'm afraid I'll forget they're in the garrison. Okay. So we have to figure out what we want to do. This region has some upsides. The clustering of the luxuries is neat, and the fact that the steppe soil right here gives a huge amount of food does make this a little bit more attractive. There's a fair amount of food, a reasonable amount of... it's a pretty small amount of industry, but a fair amount of food if we settle like right here or right here. Probably we would go here because of the extra industry tile. It is worth noting that we can't purchase boats to use as mercenaries unless we have a city that is coastal. So there's some impetus to construct on the coast, but I don't think this is a good region for that. The other thing that might work really well is down here. The city will have no natural food growth, so we'll have to have people assigned to food forever. But a settlement right here has a huge amount of starting industry and could get us where we're going pretty quickly, probably. We do not have the Nidya in this region pacified. What is the name of the region? Hellcrast. Wait, was this the region where they wouldn't talk to me? Yeah, it might have been. Alright, well, we might be able to fix that problem. And it really is a lot of industry. And here, we could grow out toward the sea. Or we could, like, take advantage of this location to build up all of our basic buildings. And then just pick the city up and move it to the coast. Honestly, I kind of like that. And we're not that far off of cultivation, so we'll be able to build a food building here. Yeah, I want to go for that. But I think first, at the risk of maybe getting myself into a little bit of trouble here, I'm going to use this settler to initiate a combat. Hold on. Let's turn off. That's a lot of stuff on the table. Okay. So the Ice Wargs are dangerous units in their own right. High attack, high damage. But They're cavalry, so the militia will be particularly effective against them. And my hero is here, so that'll help. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So actually, there's nowhere I can put this settler where he can't be attacked by an ice warg this turn. And it would be a real shame if he died. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 4, 5, 6. Yeah. Oh no, sorry. They have 6 map movement speed. They only have 4 move in battle. So actually, I'm perfectly safe right here because of all the trees. And then I am going to duck even further back, and they're just going to run forward and attack us, and we're going to do our best to not split our targets. Let's see. So this guy's going to move to here or here, and in either of those spaces we have range, 3 range, so we can hit him. Got to make sure that we're not blocking the reinforcement slots. 0. That's a good start. Jesus Christ. Okay, they don't like my hero very much. Alright, come on guys. Do some damage. Alright, we're kinda getting there. It'd be really cool if everybody could get some focus. I didn't tell my settler not to attack. This seems to have worked out all right here, but it could suddenly turn around if this guy decides he wants to attack the settler. Okay, no, he just went after the hero, and I'm pretty sure we kill him this turn. So hey, that settler is certainly a brave one. Okay, that was worth our time, I think. So now, let's figure out... We're taking, like, this path. Oof. That's a long walk. Alright, well, can we avoid the... Yeah, there's absolutely no reason for me to walk on this lava flow. I don't know why. We'll path it out manually, turn by turn. Does this settler... Oh, the settler does not have a movement trinket on. It is only 1 extra point of movement, but that's meaningful. And worth the retrofit, I think. Okay, so we take Hellcrast. We take Melantar after that, and that probably keeps green from settling here, although I guess Avrama is potentially vulnerable. The problem is I don't know exactly how large their empire is. I don't know how much of my coast is near their empire. Okay, Sagor has flipped, which means, first of all, we have a ton of population, and secondly, we can stop doing this. And I don't think it's worth doing anything other than building all of the basic stuff here. In Murinlar, we have all of the basic stuff, and also we have a huge amount of dust coming in. We could pursue a megapole, although if we were going to go for a megapole, this is probably not where we would build it. I mean, we could just build a settler, I suppose. I don't think we need a dervish. And Murinlar doesn't hugely benefit from a district right now. Like, there's no nearby tile that has a bunch of extra resources on it. So I'm not really certain what the right play is here. And we probably want to be building something that's not absolutely critical, because next turn we want to build a sewer system. Yeah, I guess the problem here is that my tech research rate is just not quite high enough to keep up with all my building. Yeah, let's put a little bit down toward a new district. Expanding out here gets us quite a bit of food and industry, all of these tiles do. And this is at least building toward the dirt field, I suppose. Yeah, we'll put a turn of build on that, and then we'll see exactly how much we want to swap over onto the construction of the sewers next turn. Everywhere else, I think we can just let them build what they're building. Yep, alright. Hopefully we won't run into any Nidya armies down here. And maybe we'll get lucky and they'll be willing to talk to the settler. You may as well pacify them. Gonna leave me without enough titanium to build a megapole anymore, but somehow I reckon we will manage. So we're not going to get that quest done. But also, I don't know that Argbad Bose Valhalla can necessarily fight a village of Bose by herself. Let's get her back into our territory and get the manuscript on her. This is all stuff we can worry about next turn. Alright, sewer systems. Let's build sewer systems everywhere. A little bit of extra influence for our fledgling nation, and then also a bunch of approval that we need desperately. Sewers, and also a public library in the capital. We should definitely start building sewers in Miranlar as well. A high priority. And honestly, I think I'm going to let the Empire Mint finish. Gosh, I wish winter was over. Okay, only 3 turns to cultivation, which means that we might be pushing the public library in Sayagor back again, because we'll probably be... Oh, never mind. Never mind. What did you guys want? You wanted... Oh, that's right. You wanted me to go fight monsters. Well, I might do that eventually. That seems potentially like a thing that could happen. Okay. So what else? Okay. Just have them be in an army with the Roads of Dust manuscript. Well, we have done that, so hopefully that'll just pop on this coming turn. Okay, she does not actually have her reassignment cooldown up, so we could move her over here and go after the monsters in the Temple Ruin. We might be able to beat them. Okay, she already has full tier 1 gear on. She does have the slowdown staff rather than the exhaustion staff, which I think is probably a better play for her. Yeah, I think I'm just going to equip her over here. She's actually going to slow down the army by 1 point of movement now that we have the Roads of Dust on her. Let's do that. Okay, this is all good. Cultivation's good, and you... All right, we have to carefully guide this settler space by space because of stuff like that. Any chance they want to talk to me now? They do indeed. Return when you are ready to give them 50 dust. Okay, well, that's a thing we could do at the beginning of the next turn, but actually I would really like to hastily move my settler at the beginning of next turn. Like to here, where I do not think the Nidya will attack us. So why don't we sell a little something and give them 50 dust now? Probably a little bit of glass steel, right? Looks like 2 will cut it. And they want me to bring 5 glass steel to that other village. Well... We could do that with the settler. If we don't do it with the settler, it's going to be a while before anybody else can do it. And if we move this quickly with the settler, these guys have 4.5 move. If we go to here right away, they won't actually be able to catch me. And then we can come down the coast and over here make our settle. So I think that should be pretty safe. Ooh. The Center of Influence facility. It's like the Dust Accumulator, but, you know, for influence. That being right there is certainly interesting, especially since it looks like this sea region, we can see this border here and the border here, is pretty small and may well actually be only a single fortress. Hard to know what the right move is there. Wait, these guys also have a move? They do, okay. Mashing the heck out of this button is crucial for everybody. Okay. Survival. They're pacified, and now You can make this run. We'll grab 4 pearls, and then we'll come down here. So 2 turns until the settle. So search 3 temple ruins with an army led by an ardent mage who is equipped with the manuscript. That is really crappy, because there are very few temple ruins left on the map that I can search. I did not realize that this was going to be a thing we had to be so aggressive about. Well, if we develop ship tech, we can go search temple ruins that are on other continents, or we could potentially just do it during the next dust eclipse, which might end up being easier. Alright, we're building good stuff everywhere. You know, I'm going to pull the public library out of the queue here, just so that we preserve all of the industry rollover in this city for the seed storage. And in Mapal, we're going to need to spend 1 turn building something else. Or I guess I could just move people off of this. Yeah, because that way we'll finish the public library the same turn the cultivation becomes available. Yeah, that's a better way to do that. We actually do want to food focus where and when we can afford to do so. Oh, what a good time for the winter to end. Flee. I think we're going to be okay. Even if that guy has the movement to attack us, we can afford to retreat once and then settle before he can attack us again. And we have encountered the Fomorians here. The wine has ended and must be reactivated, obviously. Unfortunately, the spices cannot be fixed. Oh, also, I totally forgot to do this. Absolutely worth doing. Yep, I spaced on that. We lost we lost some dust on that one. Alright. Find the monsters, get the moonleaf. You've been trapped. Survive if possible. I will attempt to survive. So Argbad bows Valhalla. I think we still want her to be a governor eventually, but it looks like she's going to have to spend some time out here fighting. Also, she might get killed. This might be a thing where she dies. 2 heiresses. I was kind of hoping, because we hadn't actually seen this tile yet. I was kind of hoping this would be land and they'd spawn over here and we could like back them up against the coast. But they have instead backed us up against the coast. Well, we could retreat. If we retreat, both of the units will actually survive, though Dervish will have 5 health left. And then we could run and try to make it back to friendly territory, where we could cheat and fight this thing with a whole bunch of extra bodies. Because I think as it stands right now, we're probably just going to die. Let's see, she has 39 attack, 42 defense. So she is going to beat their defense, but they beat her defense as well. They're not super fast, but the area is not very wooded, and we're going to start way up in the corner here. Like, we're not going to be able to run. I'm going to try it. Let's try it. So I'm going to swap these 2, and we're just going to be very hopeful. It is a little bit of a shame that the dervish goes before the hero. These guys only have 2 movement each. So yeah, I'm going to have him run up and attack that guy. And we're going to have the hero move out to here. This guy will he'll get to here, I guess. But yeah, we can play keep away a little bit. My plan here is to kite. Alright, so now the question... You know what? Not a question. Charge over there and have at that dude. I'm pretty sure that she gets to kill him. This will lock that guy in place for a turn. Yeah, okay, so actually we're totally fine here. And now you can just run away. And she can... what does she do? Oh, she goes to here. That's range enough to hit, and he cannot fight back because of the weird terrain. Okay, that should be the end of it. Oh, this is a cliff. I have dead-ended myself. Well, it probably won't matter. I think we've got this at this point. I'm actually going to have her, since she can't really move to anywhere that he can't attack her, and also still be able to attack him. I'm just going to move to here. And if he comes after her, if he survives and then comes after her, she can at least get around the cliff. Okay. So we have pacified the eyeless ones in this region. Unfortunately, that is only one village. And then, hey, this is a temple ruin at least. 40 dust is useful, and that's one step toward our faction quest. What is the reward for this stage of the faction quest? Is it even... Okay, we have no idea. Oh, actually, that counted as searching the temple ruin twice. So, there is still a small amount of unrevealed territory here. There is not anywhere else, though. If it turns out that there's no temple ruins over here, it probably will be fine just waiting for a dust eclipse. It'll be okay. I guess I should have had these guys ready to move. Okay, so you do that. You guys probably want to get out of here before the Silix catch you. We do need to, at the very least, go over and check out these tiles. Oh, hey, 20 influence. So we actually are going to have quite a bit of influence for the next Empire plan. Paul needs to build a seed storage, and Saigor needs to build a seed storage, and surprise, Miranlar needs to build a seed storage. Like, right now. Focus on that. Okay, and I think we should be saving up... We don't need to pull people off of Dust in Miranlar. We should probably be saving up for another hero, right? Because it looks like she needs to remain an army commander for a little while longer, and we're going to have a 4th city anyway. Here we just retreat, because we can afford to retreat. And then I'm not in a big hurry to lay down this city. I mean, we're laying it down this turn, but I can do some other stuff here in the interim. So we're about to move up to the next era. There's a couple of things that are important that we don't yet have, like the open pit mine and the alchemist furnace. How much value do we get out of open pit mine? There's a dye extractor here, and that's it, actually. And in fact, are there any more luxuries? Okay, there's a dye extractor in Gogthal. Okay. So it's not... Open pit mine's not a terribly important thing to go after. I do want the dye. But Alchemist Furnace is like, definitely more important. Aquapulvistics is still good. Like, there's a lot of things that are still good. But for right now, I think we're going to go for this. And we don't have any luxuries to pop. I guess I could go look at the marketplace real quick. Moonleaf. Okay, there is enough Moonleaf. If I bought 10 Moonleaf, we could pop this before settling. It would be almost all of my money. It does delay our hero by a couple of our next hero by a couple of turns, but it's also plus 50% science and 10 more approval to offset the approval loss of settling. I'm going to do it. It's a shame we won't be able to hold on to fervency through the settle. But hey, 21 initial industry. And 4 points of population, meaning that we can probably grow the population here pretty quickly. That's definitely going to be first priority, and then the sewers right after. And we're gaining, you know, we're actually not in a bad spot approval-wise. We're probably, yeah, fairly close to the barrier. We're about to get 10 more approval on 6 points of population, really 7 points of population. So we might actually be able to push back over fervency here. At least until the wine booster ends. What did you guys want? You wanted... Oh, yeah. Minor faction units. Well, I mean, it could happen. It's not literally impossible. It's probably not. Probably not going to happen. It's alright. This is not a high priority region for us. So we should probably figure out what our next Empire plan looks like. Figure out if we need to do any... Oh, player border. Figure out if we need to do any particular planning around the amount of influence we're going to have. And I need to put... Okay, like, there's two temple ruins over here. Maybe this would be a good place to wait for the temple ruin, or wait for the eclipse. There are also a bunch of Tedeke armies roaming in Sipuan, where there's a bunch of Mithrite. Boy, That's a real gift to somebody else. And then we need to figure out when our next settler is coming out. Obviously, I'm building food structures everywhere, which is kind of awkward. What if I built another settler right here, right now, and we finished the seed storage the same turn the settlers over? And take probably Melanter with it this time, because Melanter is actually pretty good, right? Like, this settle is... It's a lot of dust. It's actually not that much food or industry, but we're at the point where food and industry are a little bit less crucial because we can, we now know some buildings and we can import resources from other cities. Basically just, you know, via dust, using dust to create buildings quickly. It'll be the first one of our cities that doesn't have 3 minor villages, which is kind of crazy. It's a good place to be in, that's a concern that I have. Oh man, this is only going to have 2 points of free population on it. I mean, we should be grabbing pearls with these guys, right? We do need to get our... altar up somewhere. Do I want to do it in the capital? The capital does already have another district down. But so does Miranlar. Oh no, Miranlar does not have that district finished. I'm just thinking, like, if we put this down here, it gets me another point of river exploitation. It's pretty easy to level up. It'll be a little awkward because the district that we would build here to level it up will be against the border and will not be getting full exploitation. But it's pretty good in a lot of ways. What about, like... We could go for a megapole. We could go for the museum. Those are also concerns. And I want to get my altar as early in the summer as possible, obviously, because praying is cheaper the earlier in the summer you are. Yeah, I guess that's the plan for right now. I'm gonna be really aggressive with our expansion. Really get our economy humming as quickly as possible. And when we finish Alchemist Furnace here, we probably want to go straight into researching Central Market, because we're going to have a lot of cities. Okay, it looks like those Silics don't have any interest in murdering me, which I really appreciate. It's hard to overstate my appreciation here. Alright, so now we have lots and lots of food coming in. We probably need to get our extractors running as much as we can. And we are one more turn of dust away from hiring a 3rd hero. We might even go to 4. Actually, yeah, we'll definitely want to hire even more heroes than that, right? Because we're working on another city already. Let's definitely get Central Market, because we need the approval. We have the Privateer action available to us here at level 2, or at Era 2. But we're probably going Central Market into trade routes, right? Because we definitely benefit significantly from those trade routes. Ordinarily, trade routes are a little bit of a defensive concern, because, you know, obviously having the roads up makes it easier for you to move your troops around. And we're not so worried about that this time. Oof, I can't actually get out of their region. Well, I do not want to fight those Silics. Oh, I can get out of their region by going up here. Wait, this is the Silic village. These guys aren't even actually in their region. In that case, we might be okay doing this. Not that often that you see a minor faction army wander out of their home region. It's not that they can't. You do see it every once in a while, but it's certainly unusual. It said he might attack me, so I'm going to make sure that we get a move on here, so that if we do have to run, we can at least be in position to move out of the region next turn, instead of getting stuck here because he moved to there before attacking us, you know? Alright, we were not the first to produce each of the 4 strategic resources. And hey, look! Purple is Alayi, and they are all up in my territory, stealing my pearls. So that's annoying. I wish they weren't doing that. Alright, let's get some more heroes. So Zarcha Atenal has Science Boost 1, Science Boost 1, Industry Efficiency 1, not really very good. You have no relevant governing skills, Science Efficiency. Lore Master Jaya Wardine has Food 1. Man, these are a bunch of real weak lords. Here we go. Dust Boost 3. That's the kind of thing I want to see. Unwin Waybridge also has Dust Boost 3. Are these basically the same hero? Actually, Unwin Waybridge is just better, right? He's got Dust Boost 3. And all of his combat stats are as good or better? That seems odd. And he's also slightly cheaper. This guy's probably our winner. Whitechapel has no governor capacities, and you have Dust Boost 1. Okay, Unwin Waybridge, welcome to the team. So I think the first skill in his tree cares about rivers, right? Yeah, so unfortunately, he doesn't really have a good place to go. Beyond that, he just cares about tiles that have dust on them, and then resource deposits. Which makes me kind of want to put him in Hellcrast, because I think... Oh no, there are some tiles that don't have any dust on them. Here we have a bunch that don't... Actually, a lot of the tiles around Miranlar have dust. Miranlar does already have a governor, though. This city is going to be pretty dust heavy. I think I'll put him down here for now. We may move him later. But for right now, to just help him start getting XP immediately. And then, the Roads of Dust manuscript is a pretty valuable equip. Do our other heroes, do our other governors have it? No, you still need it. And you still... turns out everybody needs it. Well, I'm comfortable putting it on Waybridge first because his city is the newest and needs industry the most. But we'll get it on these other two over the next couple of turns. At least we're making good use of all of our dust, right? Also, I really, really hope that there is a dust eclipse before the next winter, and that it happens really soon. Oh, I totally forgot we were doing this, but sure enough, we have the 37. That's totally acceptable. Not great, just fine. And now we've built all the important stuff that we needed to build in this region. We'll have a central market available next turn, so we can start just building out to grab that that fumarole. That's probably the right thing to do. I think we'll focus on food. Like this is not terribly important. Do you have something else you were supposed to be doing? No, you do not. That said, let's put this in the queue so I don't forget. But I think we want to... Yeah, I think we want to keep you on dust. Let's go ahead and get our other two governors roadsed up. So I'm noticing we have a little bit more dust than I thought we were going to. Yep, people are starting to make purchases and sales on the marketplace, and we are getting paid. So yeah, there was 50 dust worth of business done for us there. Somebody paid... somebody sold 28 Palladian. What a windfall. Actually just really great. Alright, we are doing our best to be in position for this thing. I really hope this counts, because I know that while they are eclipsed, they're not called Temple Ruins anymore, they're called Eclipsed Ruins. So I'm not sure that this will count toward our faction quest. I'm hopeful, though. Yeah, Temple Ruins is in quotation marks, which makes me worried that it's checking the name field. So after we get roads, we might want to get boat tech, because we might have to send Argbot out across the sea to find an unsearched temple ruin. Okay, so you're going to get seed storage. Seed storage here is coming up a little bit late, but I suppose it's coming up in Hellcrast on the same turn. I gotta say, it has not been a terribly stressful campaign so far, and I'm down with that. I'm really, really in a good place for this kind of action at the moment. Yeah, let's go ahead and pick up Narrative Master. We'll maybe get the rest of Irrigation Expert later. Right now, I really want to get through Narrative Master and up to Cultural Ambassador, and we'll figure stuff out from there. But I want access to all of that free approval. And once we have the free approval, it's possible we'll just move that hero around a little bit. Also, I totally said we were going to figure out our Empire plan. So, this is good for us, obviously. As it stands, we could do this. It'll be 200. It'll be 200, I believe, when we found our next city. Which is fine. We'll be well over 200 by that time. It would be cool to also get that. I think that's probably out of reach, though. Yeah, we can just take a pretty modest Empire plan. Okay, there is a group of Eyeless Ones here. You know, we really don't have to be afraid of them. Eyeless Ones are pretty bad fighters. And the region is pacified, so it won't be producing any more. I think we'll just fight them. We should be able to pull that off. I'll be very embarrassed if we aren't. Alright, Settler, where do you want to go? At this point, our desperate need for new heroes is starting to wane a little bit, so I wonder if we do want to go over to Melantur and settle in a temporarily non-ideal spot to get the ability to purchase naval mercenaries and see if we can't maybe get lucky with some quests and take over a sea region, because the value of that could be really high. And then after we buy the mercenaries, we could just pick up the city and move it over to where we actually want it to be. I think that's going to be the play. We're going to take Melantur. Come on, Dust Eclipse. Please, please, please happen. Okay, somebody else has 30 units at the same time. Not a big surprise there. The Skyfin got close enough to us that we have now formally met purple. I don't know that that has any implications for us at all right now. Okay, this should be pretty easy to handle. Now, they are both ranged units, which is a little bit awkward for this guy. He only has 5 moves, so he can't actually get to them. I wonder if maybe we'd be best off just waiting over here and trying to get them to come forward into the bottleneck a little bit. I'm going to do that. So this guy is just going to wait right where he is. And Argbod is going to buff him with increased fire. And they're going to come toward me a little bit. And heal themselves and each other. So they only have 2 move. He needs them to get a little bit closer. I'm gonna move him a little bit closer as well. So this guy's gonna move to here, and that guy's probably gonna move to there. And I want to make sure I'm not within 3 spaces of that. Okay, just refresh the buff. And now we can actually attack them. I guess actually I want to be adjacent to him if I can be. Okay, we got lucky and the stun went off. It would be cool if our guy survived here, but it kind of doesn't matter. Base dervishes are pretty weak units. Okay, I think we can withdraw at this point. I'm going to move up to here to block him in to prevent him from pursuing. He's going to try, but he is not going to be successful. Well, I'm kind of losing that that fight there. You definitely just want to hide. I guess, actually, I should have thought about this a little bit more during setup. I don't have range on these guys, and I have to be careful how I move in so that I don't give them range on me first. Right now, they can move to here. Yeah, that's safe. Apparently, they're not going to move at all. They're going to make me come to them. Well, if I move to here, he could go to here and get a free shot on me, and our damage levels are bad enough that I actually really don't want him to get a free shot on me. Yeah, okay. This is what I wanted. I want to get to hit first. There we go. An actual good attack and everything. Get a little bit of a high ground attack bonus here. Okay, there we go. We finally got through that. That was a very silly battle. I don't really want to go anywhere. I think I want to just stay right here. And you guys... Okay, so now we have sewers in every city. As of the beginning of turn 36. We have sewers in every city. We have a couple more turns of wine. But when the wine wears off, we're going to drop out of fervency for sure. We'll probably still be happy. And so markets everywhere may carry us back to fervent. Apparently the AI is having a battle somewhere. We can't move on to the next turn until they finish it. Kinda seems like they're maybe not finishing it, though. Right? It has said that there's another battle left for quite some time at this point. And worried that we may be experiencing a small bug. Well, I'll tell you what. I know we're not quite at the hour, but we're pretty close here. So what I'm going to do is end the video for today. Thank you all so much for watching. Come back next time to see exactly how much land we can have by turn 40. And also whether or not I was able to figure out how to fix this bug. And we'll see you then.